Welcome back, DNA Strand crew, to the newest episode of the Triple Threat Podcast here on the Dynasty DNA Podcasting Network. And I should say, for the first time, we will be going live for this show, the Dynasty DNA Triple Threat Podcast. Can't wait to do it live. I'm your host, TJ Blake. You can follow me over on Twitter at FFTJBlakeDNA. And as always, we're joined by the Scourge of Alaska, the new dad in the house. Congratulations, by the way, my friend Nicholas Holt, Dynasty Wiz. You can follow him on Twitter at DynastyWizFF. Wiz, how's the sleep been coming? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Let me know. How's it been being a new dad times two?
Oh, man. It's right now I feel like we're on one-on-one parenting right now, where my wife's more worried about my daughter, and I'm just been working with my son, just a little one-on-one cage match going on, which is works great. If we were at 3 kids right now, we'd be outnumbered. I'd have more gray hair than I do now. I'd be looking like shit. And honestly, I probably wouldn't be here this week. I would be like, you gotta find a replacement. But no, I'm here. We're rocking and rolling. Everything's going pretty great. So,
and we know Mike would be happy about that. He had to deal with your takes. And today we could butt some heads with this episode. We're going to get into that to a minute here. But we're also joined by our other co-host and friend. He is the host of the Dynasty Dogs podcast, fresh off vacation. Michael Anthony, you can follow him over on Twitter at Dynasty Dog Mike. Mike, how you doing today? How was the vacation? Are you ready to put up with Wiz's crap again here this week?
The vacation wasn't long enough to come back and deal with this, unfortunately. I kind of wish I stayed. But, all good things must come to an end, I guess. And just like Wiz's, good takes last week, I'm sure they were definitely ending this week. But congratulations to you, Wiz. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely are. And, honestly, Mike is ready to roll. He's ready to put Wiz back in his place for the DNA Strand crew. We're happy to have him back. So, as I said, you guys make sure.
Yeah, he was getting a little too chirpy last week. I was listening to it on the beach, and it was 100 some odd degrees, and I had to listen to his bullshit for over an hour. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was just, I swear, he was just picking the players that I would have been most pissed at.
He did. I know he did. He wanted
Mike, I would never do that.
You absolutely would.
No, you absolutely would. But today is going to be a great episode today, guys. I can't wait to get into it. We're going to be doing a match game. And what do I mean by a match game? You were saying, TJ, what are you talking about? A match game for a fantasy football podcast? Well, this is going to be fun because we're going to be playing the role of a contending team. And we're going to be putting up some players here that we want to talk about. And we're going to go over them. And what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that we're a contender. And I want to know from everybody their value. What kind of draft pick would they cap out at on this player? What do they feel comfortable giving up for them? What do they think that they're worth? We're all going to hold up our papers, and then we're going to talk about it. Maybe why one of us are higher on that player. Maybe why one of us are lower on that player. So I can't wait to get into this. I tried to coax Ty to get in as a special guest on this show because this is his forte. This is his wheelhouse, because we would have seen insane prices given up from Ty. No doubt about it. I mean, it would have just been like instant first. We would have seen that all the time, guaranteed. But I'm interested to see what you guys have as far as evaluation on some of these players as contenders go. But before we start, I got to bring up the Dynasty DNA Discord channel, guys. This thing is absolutely popping right now. I mean, it's always busy. It's always thumping with trade questions, player evaluations. We talk everything NFL. We talk everything Dynasty fantasy football. It's absolutely free. You can go over to our Twitter page, DynastyDNA_. At the top of the page, there is a link in the description. You click that link. You could join for free. We'd love to have you. But here we go. It's the match game today. It's the Dynasty DNA matchmaker, and we're going to be playing the role as a contender. And I'm going to be listing some players, and I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds, and we're going to pull up our papers, and we're going to see.
Oh, did I lose
you? Start real hot and heavy, and this one is for you. I want to know right now, as a contender, and I'm going to go to everyone. So everyone writes this down. I want to know, Chase Brown, what would you give up right now as a contender needing a running back? What would you give up for Chase Brown? Everyone get ready to get their papers and write it down here. We don't want anyone cheating. Don't worry, Wiz. You can't see Mike's paper. You can't see my paper. Alaska's a long way away. You have to have better than 20/20 vision to be able to do that. But I want to see where you guys are at, and we'll hold up our papers here in 1 second and see what you have. I'm ready to go. Everyone ready here?
Yeah, kind of. Okay. I don't feel great about it.
Oh, Mike, I love it. I love it. We're putting you in an insecure spot. Wiz, are you still lollygagging over there? You're still bringing up the rear. Do you have it?
Yeah, I just sent a counter back to myself real quick.
So. Okay.
Send a counter back to myself.
Okay, Chase Brown in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up, everybody. What do we have? So we have from Wiz, is that 2 seconds? And what was it, Wiz?
And I get a third back.
And a third back. Mike, what did you have?
I have a late first, but I wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so I have 1 first and 1 second. And now
oh my God.
Down here. And, you know,
he's yours, dude. I'm not paying that. You're crazy.
Oh, I'm paying it. I'm paying it because I'm telling you right now, guys, you know how high I am on this player. I don't back away from my thoughts. I don't back away from my feelings. I think that I'm going to be getting a running back that's going to be a solid contributor for the next couple of years. I don't think he's going to be a guy that's just going to be totally gone by the wayside. I don't think he's as safe as Derrick Henry. I don't think he's as safe as a Saquon Barkley. But I do think that he's someone that's going to be around a little bit. I think that he's going to have a really good season this year. You guys know I've said that many times on many shows. And if it's going to be a piece that puts me over the top, I feel totally comfortable with it. I like the age on it. I'm not big on the 2026 class. I say that all the time. I've said it on many, many shows. Now, if that's 2027 capital, no way. I'm not talking 2027. I'm not trading anything like that. But look, if it's a piece that puts me over the top, I have no problem with it. Now, let me just say this. I'm not going to show my hand. That's the maximum I'm willing to give up. But I'm not going to show my hand right now. I'm going to wait till the season comes along. And whenever the time comes, I will buy then. But I feel like he's going to be, I think when you get to that point, you're going to have to pay that to acquire him. I honestly do, because I think he's going to have a good year. And we know how it goes with these running backs. I mean, we know the sellers, that's the best time to sell. As a contender, though, you got to be able to make sure they're available. That's the big thing. But Wiz, you know, you're a little bit lowbally there. I don't like that. You know, you're already putting me in an upset mood here tonight. My phone ain't working. I had to use my uncle's computer here. Thank God for him. It's the only reason why we're able to do the show, because I forgot mine behind. I'm working on the road.
Make that trade offer too?
He might have. But no, great minds think alike. You know what I mean, Mike? But no, honestly, Wiz, I know you're lowballing there. I don't like the disrespect for my players. So why are we lowballing? What are you worried about here with my guy?
Well, right. First thing's longevity of Chase Brown. I'm not confident, right? You're saying that couple of years, you know, I don't know if he's gonna. I just don't know what the Bengals plan on doing, right? And that's the thing. Low draft capital. You got a lot of his points from dump offs, which is whatever, right? However way you get your points in fantasy. Just longevity for me, I don't see it. Like, if him and Derrick Henry have the same shelf life, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised, because Derrick Henry coming towards the end of his career, 3 years left, maybe. Chase Brown, he might have less than that. And I just don't know what the Bengals plan on doing, right? They're always butt up against the cap. So they never have money really to bring in running backs. 26 class is not looking promising for running backs, but then again, you know, it could be a tough position to evaluate sometimes, where some guys we're out on, like Bucky Irvin's a good example. Besides Mike, this doesn't apply to you, but I thought he was just mediocre at best. I didn't think he had a chance. And then look what he did in Tampa Bay. So I just don't have long-term confidence, and I'd rather just buy a cheaper option, like an Aaron Jones later on for a second, than pay a first and a second for Chase Brown. You know, Jonathan Taylor. I'd pay a first and a second for Jonathan Taylor, just not Chase Brown.
So would
Taylor's way better.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, Wiz. I mean, I'm not saying I said it on the Dynasty DNA deep dive that Jonathan Taylor is a guy that is, if you put him in a lineup of running backs, you're going to point out and say, yeah, that guy's a guy I want.
Yeah, like but the first and second is Jonathan Taylor price range, like Breece Hall price range, right? Like you're talking.
See, what I'm trying to say to you is this. When you
went knocked on every other door and they told you to go away, and Chase Brown was like, I'll give it to you for a first and a second. And you're like, Sign me up, dude. You're like
Yeah. I would.
you're the pest control person when they're knocking around. You're like, you want me to spray your house for termites, and you not open the door. And you're like, dude, I'll give you extra $100 to do it right now. He's like, cha-ching, because that's the only guy he got to sell that treatment the whole entire summer, dude.
And let me say this: did I
Does he
win
have termites though? Maybe he needs it right fucking now.
I don't
To
know.
be fair, that's a bad description there. Your
Yeah.
whole house can come the fuck down.
Yeah, now don't worry.
Nah.
My thing is win the title. But let me just say this: I've said it a million times. Like, I don't mind making this trade later. I have no problem with that. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, I'm going to wait it out, and if I have to pay the extra second to make sure he's available and he is having the season that I want him to have, I'll do that. I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, if that he is running back 6 or 7 heading towards the trade deadline, you're not going to get him for any. You're going to pay at least that. I guarantee it. I mean, an offense like Cincinnati, that's why I'm saying I'm willing to cap out at that at the right time, Wiz. I'm not saying right now, but at the right time. It's all a timing game. But Mike, okay, Chase Brown, what did you have on your card? Let's review it, and let's talk about it. How high are you on him? And what do you think about his outlook here coming into the season?
So I do think he's going to have a nice season because the Bengals defense is just an absolute train wreck. They're going to have to score points. Apparently, their first round pick is possibly back at Texas A&M, considering going back to play there again. So it's very possible he's going to have a decent year, but I don't see the long-term value in Chase Brown. I think, he's a nice piece to a 1 to 2 year kind of build. That's why late first feels okay. I would rather give up the 2-second price that Wiz is offering, but again, I don't think that happens at his current value. But to be honest, if I'm going to give up a late first for a running back and for a 1 to 2 year window, I'd rather spend that on a Josh Jacobs. I'd rather spend that on Brees, probably at this point is close to there. Even Derrick Henry. I don't know if I really want to spend that on Chase himself. He's just like, he's a good PPR back. He's a good spark plug kind of back. He's just not an every down back. And in fantasy, I like to have at least one guy that I know that's going to get a bulk of the carries in an offense and for years to come. Because I don't think Chase Brown has that ability, to be honest. I don't think he runs between the tackles well enough.
Well, see, that's kind of where I'm at as far as disagreeing a little bit, right? Like, I don't think he's going to be a guy that you're going to have for 4 or 5 years. I don't think he's a Derrick Henry, but I'm just saying, like, the way I like to do business on running backs, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, is like, I want to make sure they're available. And I think that he's going to have that kind of season. You're going to have to give that up. Now, if it was any other draft class, I'd be a little bit more bullish. But considering it's 26, considering how I feel about it, that's how I feel so confident. But, I do like the fact that you're still willing to give up a late first, Mike. I know you're not as high on the player, and I like your description as far as, like, you're kind of on par with me thinking that he's going to have a better season than people think. I mean, I really do. I mean, just because this defense is that bad, I think they're going to score a lot of points, and I think he's going to be a benefactor of that. But we're going to go into the next player here. It's going to be a wide receiver. Let's go visit the wide receiver pool here. And we're going to start right now with a guy that I like. We all kind of like through the years. It's Mike Evans. Mike Evans, let's hurry up here and write down on our papers as a contender. What would we be willing to give up for Mr. Evans' neighborhood? I want to know what you guys are thinking. All right, couple minutes here. I'm going to write it down right now. Okay. Wiz, bringing up he's just terrible, Mike. He's so slow. He's so indecisive. See, that's why I love trading with him, because he's just so indecisive over there in Alaska. All right, Wiz, you got your card ready?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Hold them up. What do we have? I'm going to go with a late first.
I didn't even change anything.
Late first for Mike, and Wiz says a second. A second for Mike.
I could see an early second. That's what I almost changed my answer to, but
just a second.
It was
it's
close.
Just my second. That's it. It's a late second.
Okay, so here we go. Negative Debbie Downer yet again on some of these older players. Wiz, let's hear about it. What's your concerns with Mike Evans to where you're a little bit more bullish than me and Mike? Why a second in your eyes?
Well, it's a little more bearish, is the correct terminology there, TJ. But
I didn't know we were talking about the stock market. Sorry, Wiz.
Oh, well, you're saying bullish. I feel like that was a very much a stock market term. But anyways, entering, he's 31 years old. He will be 32 when the season starts. They drafted a wide receiver in the first round. They have Jalen McMillan there. Chris Godwin's going to be coming through rehab, so he's probably not going to be on the field for a little bit to start the season. But it's just all this is adding up, right? He's had a historic, impressive career throughout the whole entire thing, and it's just I don't know. I'm nervous about, can he hit that 1,000-yard mark again this season? Is he going to be able to produce at the high end fantasy that we've came to expect? And I just don't know. And it's the point that I'm not even thinking about buying right now. I'm just scared, and I'm a fool. So.
Oh, Wiz, at least you admitted it to all of us. But no, honestly, I mean, you got to be careful. I see where you're coming from a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of slack on this. If you would have said an early second, I would have felt even better about it, because I was kind of like Mike. I was bouncing back and forth in my mind. But, Mike, you're talking like I am, late first for Mike Evans in 2026. Are you concerned about, could he get to that 1,000-yard mark? I mean, and look, I have to see where Wiz is coming from a little bit here. I think this is a little bit more of a pure rental type of deal. But what do you think about this?
I want you to pull up that comment I can see on the right-hand side.
I see it. Yeah.
My buddy Honcho from Fourth and Fantasy. Great dude, by the way. I could absolutely see that again. I don't know if you guys saw the reports on Chris Godwin not going to be participating in any OTA or any training camp stuff this offseason. So it's possible he doesn't play in the beginning of the year. That injury was ugly. I love Chris Godwin, but I still think Mike Evans has one more year to get that 1,000-yard mark where he balls out again. This is kind of probably this team's last hurrah with Mike Evans. And I think Emeka Egbuka opens things up for him or helps him out a little bit, even if Godwin's gone. So I'm not worried about him at all. This is a dude that I bet against 2 years ago to not hit that 1,000-yard mark. And he fucking did that and then did it again, and he's going to do it again. I'm just not betting against a guy like Mike Evans. Just one of the most underrated wide receivers we've seen in a long time. I'm willing to still give up that late first for him, especially if I'm trying to win now as like my wide receiver 3.
Right, absolutely. And, we talk about like certain situations, right? Okay, shop around. Maybe you could get a little bit better option from a dynasty perspective. But I mean, look, if you want the points, but I want to be sure, though, that I'm a top 3 team in my league. If I feel comfortable.
Real quick. This actually goes back to the last player we talked about and Mike Evans. My good friend Rich McAteer, part of the Dynasty Dogs podcast, in a startup he's doing with a couple friends of ours that in a home league, he traded Chase Brown and the 901 startup pick. I'm not sure who ended up being, but it's the 901 startup for Rome Odunze and Mike Evans. Which side would you guys rather have?
Ooh, that's a close one. I mean, it really just depends. Depending on what you could use. But Rome Odunze is very attractive. I would probably lean the Rome side just because of dynasty value long term, right? We talk about wide receivers and running backs. That makes the most sense to me. I'm someone that believes in the guy. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be someone that will rise. I still expect him to be a little bit more behind the 8 ball this year, but it will get better as the years continually to grow. But I would probably go that side. Even as much as I'd like Chase Brown. But Mike Evans, though, Wiz, so you're saying no matter what, you wouldn't trade a 2026 late first, no matter what?
Absolutely not. No, you're talking about 2026 late first that could possibly get you Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore.
What?
You don't think a first could get you those guys?
Well, yeah, but I'd rather bet on Mike Evans another year than DJ
over
Moore
DJ Moore,
right
Terry McLaurin.
Now, Terry, I'll give you. Terry's close. DJ Moore, no. I would.
Okay, you probably get DK for the same price, probably right around there. I don't know. I'm just
but you're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you guys are overpaying for a guy that's on a 1-year rental, which whatever, right? If it wins you the championship, right, and he has those 20-point games, he blows up on the fantasy playoffs, he wins you it. Who cares? I agree, but I'm just looking at right now. Like I'd rather just take DJ Moore. I think he's going to produce a solid. I think Terry McLaurin, just as long as he plays and gets his contract figured out, more solid. And they both, I think, outscored Mike Evans last year. So,
well, let me just say this: like, I agree with you, Wiz. Like, if I can get them guys, no problem. But you can't always get them for them prices, right? I'm saying, like, I see Mike Evans' value no matter what, not getting any higher than that. And I mean, at worst, people are probably only going to trade him for a higher to mid-second at worst. So, I mean, if this is the guy I can get and it's the only option, I have no problem with that. You just got to do your shopping, do your due diligence. I love me some DJ Moore. You know that. I'm not going to say that I don't, but I think he could be, big in this Chicago offense. I talked about it a lot. I think this year he's going to be the biggest benefactor. And, I think Rome will be fine. I think he's the future. I think he's going to take over there, but I think it's DJ Moore's this year. But if you can't get those type of guys, and Mike Evans is the best you can get, and you're a bona fide top 3 team, and I could say this could put me over, I could win it, and he's doing what he always does, and he's doing them Mike Evans things, give me him, and let's win the championship. That's what I'm saying, because 2026 first, don't hurt my soul that badly.
What about Huncho brings up, I can see it on the right-hand side here, a guy like either Devontae Adams or George Pickens compared to a Mike Evans.
I like how you left Judy out of there because you're like, I really have Mike Evans.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Judy too. I missed it. I honestly just missed it. I just shot over it because he's no interest to me at all. But
I would take any of them players. But again, like I said, it's just Judy, not so much. I would rather have Evans. But like if I could get Adams, I don't mind that. If I could get Pickens, I don't mind that. It's just I think it'll be tougher to get Pickens, especially for that.
Right now,
once it starts rolling. But I mean, it just depends. But Adams, I think you get, and I love him too. I like both of them. I mean, if it could put me over the top, and I'm sure I'm a bona fide contender, give me them guys.
Would you guys rather have Tyreek Hill or Evans? Because those guys are like right back to back.
Evans.
All right, going a little bit younger side, Jaden Higgins or Luther Burden. Any of those guys ahead of Evans?
Well, it just depends on your team structure. Yeah, I mean, if I'm a rebuilder, I'll take them guys, sure. If I'm middle of the road, I'm going to take them guys, sure. But if I'm a top 3 contender, give me Mike Evans.
I don't know. Like for me, I think I'd rather have Tyreek over Evans. I'll be honest.
I don't know, man.
Like that down here last year.
That Dolphins offense is scary though. With Tua's health, their Armstead, their left tackle retired. I don't know.
And Tyreek off the field shenanigans, but it's all brewing up for a great season. This is like AJ Brown. Like he go do some crazy shit and then he pops off the following year.
What shit?
Antonio Brown. Sorry,
I was gonna say
not AJ Brown. Sorry.
We're also hearing, though, that this wrist stuff still bothering him. I've heard reports that that's an issue, too. I mean, you got to remember, too, he's getting older. He's a separating type player, and that worries me as well. I mean, Mike Evans isn't that kind of guy. He's that big X, throw it up, red zone, down the field.
Right.
He'll never change.
And as long as you're not Lattimore, he's not putting hands on you.
That's it. We got to advertise that fight. I mean, I wish we could get that after they retire, like we seen Le'Veon and AP go at it, but let's go ahead and talk about the next player. You guys will like this one. I know I do. I'm just curious to see how high you'd be willing to spend on him. Jacoby Myers. Say you need a flex right now. Let's get me some Jacoby Myers love in this show. As a contender needing a flex. Wiz, don't cheat off Mike's paper. I see you looking there. We got to build one of them school forts like we seen back in the day. I know you got them Hawkeye Alaska guys up there. Okay, so you got yours wrote down, Wiz, for Jacoby Myers. You ready to go, or are you still lollygagging there?
I'm good.
Okay, Mike, you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. I got a mid-second for me. Oh, Wiz has a second. What do you have, Mike?
Mid-second.
Mid-second? Okay. Oh, man, Mike, you and I are like telepathically connected tonight.
What did he have? I missed. What did Wiz have?
He had just a second. So he did just a second. So we'll just start on our end of it. Look, I mean, I just feel like as far as the second goes, we brought up some players, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, them type of guys. If I could get them, I'll gamble on the high-end upside, what we've seen in the past. I know they're a little bit older, but as a contender, give me that, right? I'll take that because I know what they're capable of. Getting Jacoby, look, he's one of the most underrated guys. He puts the U in underrated. I've always said it. He's played really well. Great flex guy for a contender. Great guy to have on your bench. You can plug and play anytime. But he's just capped, right? Like, you know what he's going to be. He's going to be a high-end wide receiver 3, back-end wide receiver 2. He's going to be a very valuable body to have, though, as far as contention goes, especially in the flex. That's kind of why I top out at a mid-second. Wiz, you wrote down a second. So let me just see. How high would you be willing to go? Because I'm going to say about 205, 206 is the max I would give up.
He's being too goddamn big, man.
Okay, but this is literally, you're saying you're buying him in the middle of the season. And these are your picks basically, right? But I mean, to give you context, I mean, I would pay like 1-for-1 deals. I would do Trey Benson straight up. So he's probably right around that
That's a good
2.5.
call. Yeah, I like that.
That's a
All
good. That's
That
a
day.
good.
2.5, 2.6.
All
I would
day.
swap those guys out. I don't know, maybe like I don't know. What's your
I
boy
wonder if I
Michael
could do
Pittman
that.
value at?
My boy, Michael Pittman, he should be higher. I don't get it. I don't understand why.
I would swap Pittman for Myers.
If in a contention mode,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it just because, look, I mean, Indianapolis is a train wreck right now, but long term, that could really kick you in the balls because we know what Michael Pittman could be. I mean, he could be a more high end wide receiver 2 type player, but it makes sense in the short term. Maybe get a third back on something like that. I like that, Wiz. I'll give you points for creativity tonight. But so you're saying, middle of the road.
My creativity with my vagueness.
Well, I mean, like you're like a politician. I say it all the time. You give these terrible answers and then you spin control them, and you do a good job at that. I got to give you credit on that. But a mid-second, I have no problem with. We're all kind of on the same page as far as that goes. Mike, I mean, look, I know Wiz said about Trey Benson. I think that's a great option. I mean, would that be something you would consider, something in that realm, giving up even a player like that for Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, I'm trying to find where I have Trey Benson in one league so I can offer him to the owner guy who has Jacoby Myers. But I keep forgetting. I'm like, it's one of these leagues I just started this offseason.
The easiest way to do it, Mike, is just go find him on a random league. Just type his name and then you can filter down. Like add him, see who's available. That's what I do whenever I know I have one player on a team. Like, which league is it?
That was driving me crazy. So I would definitely mid-second. What do you think for points per game? Probably 12, 13, probably.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's been consistently. I'd have to go look. But yeah, I'm all in on this offense right now with the Raiders, with Pete Carroll and
Geno Smith.
Chip Kelly. Well, Chip Kelly and Geno, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot better than people think. Okay,
and
so
this is also Jacoby Myers' best quarterback that he's had in a long time. I mean, did he play Tom Brady's rookie year? I can't remember.
He was with Tom Brady, I think, a little bit. Yeah, Jacoby was. He seems like
this is probably his second best quarterback in his career, unless you want to count Derek Carr before he went really horrible. But
let's hop into a little bit quarterback talk, right? Let's say you're a contender. I'm interested to know right now. Say you have a quarterback go down, because this is where it gets interesting, right? Let's say you have a quarterback get injured. Maybe say 4 to 5 weeks, you need somebody to fill in. What would you be willing to give up for the athlete mentioned Geno Smith right now, Wiz? What would you be willing to give up for him, Mike? Geno, if you had a quarterback injury, I'm interested to see where you guys are at on this.
If I have an injury, that's the caveat to this one.
Yeah, if you have an injury. Yeah, like if you have an injury, you say you need a quarterback, you need to acquire one. What would you be willing to give up for Geno Smith? What's your high as far as getting him in your fold and having someone in there in that super flex spot if you did have an injury? Wiz, you got your paper ready?
Oh, it's right here. It's ready.
Okay. Mike, you ready to
I have
roll?
an actual pick this time, too.
Oh, an actual pick. Boy, okay. So here we go. Hold
on. What the fuck did I cross out? Hold
on. Mike's being indecisive. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, Geno Smith. Let's hold him up. All right.
I got mid-second again.
I got 2/3. Mike's a little high on this one. So, Mike, okay.
I think his was higher than mine.
Yeah, I have 203 or Trey Benson.
Oh,
Trey Benson's everywhere.
I thought it said 302. I apologize, Wiz. So you are a high second or Trey Benson. Okay. Mr. Negative. Okay. You've been down on my players, taking shots on people like Mike Evans and Chase Brown. Talk about absolutely disgusting. Geno Smith, you're willing to give up a 203. Are you that sad? You were giving me a hard time about Chase Brown's long-term dynasty stature. You're just really taking shots. Geno Smith, you have confidence in longer than Chase Brown.
Well, I need a quarterback, right? That's gonna get me by for 4 weeks. Also, Geno got that 3-year extension. So I mean, that's some longevity right there. What's Chase Brown? Oh wait, the Bengals don't like paying their players, so he's not gonna get another contract unless if your name is Chase Burrow or T. Higgins. I guess he's falling in that group.
T. Higgins had to
he had a bag really nicely
for 3 years. Yeah.
You'd be out there and you got some spare change, But I don't know. Geno's there for 3 years, right? I mean, it's probably way out. somewhere in his contract between those years, but I haven't really looked into it. But I mean, Geno's always been a steady Eddie guy now the last couple of years in fantasy. I think he just finished outside QB1 this past year, which is fine. They did a lot of changes there. Tyler Lockett fell off a cliff, but JSN, he came up. Let's talk about him. But I don't know. I'm just real confident in Geno Smith. I think he's going to excel in this offense here. He's back reunited with Pete Carroll, which is Pete Carroll's real excited to get him back on his team. So I don't know. I'm 100% paying that for Geno Smith. I think he's an excellent contending buy for a cheap, low-end quarterback option.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate you for it. Look, I mean, we talked about it too. If you're in a situation, maybe that's what you have to do, right? And if you have to do something like that, I have no problem with it. I'm just like, it's lucky it's Pete Carroll for me, for Geno, right? Because I think if he would have not got the Vegas job, it could have been a totally different story. But I do think he's bought himself a couple years no matter what. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's going to, we talk about quarterbacks and Superflex. You're going to have to pay right around that. He just isn't my favorite cup of tea, right? I just never been a super Geno fanboy like Wiz. I think he's okay. He's more of that quarterback 3, but if I could get him for a second, I don't mind that. But Mike, okay, you say a second as well. Not as high as Wiz. Talk about getting specific, 203. Wow, Wiz, you're getting really specific.
Oh, so you want me to just write second back on my papers now? Is that it? I go back to it.
I'm never happy with what you write down. But anyhow, Mike, you're saying a second. How high would you be willing to go? Wiz said 203. Would you be willing to go that high?
Can I get a fourth back, maybe? I don't know. That would just I don't know, just a throw in.
I mean, you're just gonna hit a fourth that's gonna clog your taxi squad till 27, and you're gonna drop them.
You never know. I mean, I'm still willing to pay a second for him no matter what, but if I can get a fourth on top, I'm just going to be happy about it. Yeah, I'm excited for Geno in this offense. I believe it was his best fantasy season under Pete Carroll just a few years ago, and now he's got some nice weapons in Ashton Genty, you can catch out of the backfield, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers we just talked about. I think it's wheels up for Geno in this offense to be a solid high-end QB2 this season. This is an up-and-coming team that I kind of like.
Yeah, and a lot of people be giving him love. I know that you said Rich did on the Dynasty Dogs. I know that Slim has on the Dynasty DNA deep dives. Just saying, look, this team's improving. It's going to get better. You talked to Big Culture Bob. It's just anti-Raiders. I mean, it's everything anti-Raiders, but it's definitely getting better. And I do think that they're going to be at least hovering around that 500 mark. So they're definitely a team to watch for as far as little improvements, right? I definitely could see that. But this one, somewhere Ty is 100 miles away from me right now, smiling ear to ear, because Wiz, this one's for you as well. The King, Derrick Henry. What would you be willing to give up right now? Maximum price. I want to know maximum price you'd be willing to give up for the King right now as far as overall value as a contender. Where would you be at on this?
If Wiz doesn't write his newborn on here, I'll be insane.
That's what I'm trying to pressure him into doing here, see what he can come up with, something really good and juicy. All right, Wiz.
I'm still right now. No, I got to add way more to this deal right now to make it even.
I know you're in a little love affair right now. So here we
go. The moose he hunted me, my firstborn child.
He would. I mean, absolutely would. I'm surprised you don't have no memorabilia, but here we go. 3, 2, 1, Derrick Henry. Uh-huh. What do you have, Wiz? Insert, what is it?
A wrong answer here. No, just kidding. This is what I'm paying right here. My 26 first, Trey Benson, a 26 second, and a 27 third.
That is the most creative card I've ever seen. You want to talk about I thought Ty
would get rid of Trey Benson. Oh,
Ty was given high, so you're giving up all that stuff, including Trey Benson. I have no problem with it. I said a first and a second. Look, I love Derrick Henry. Mike, what did you have down?
I had a first, but if I had to throw in a sweetener like that,
like Trey Benson,
to get it done, yeah, I like a second round pick to get it done, and I knew I'm going to be a winner, then yeah, I would be all aboard that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's just talk about Derrick Henry, right? Because we were talking a little bit about some of these players. We were doing the Dynasty DNA deep dive, and we were doing the division breakdowns. We were talking about some of these players overall. How worried are you, though, Mike, as far as look, I mean, we know this guy's a unicorn. We all love Derrick Henry here. We all preached it last season saying, hey, go out and get him. Hopefully, especially Ty, he was screaming from the mountaintops. He had so much data on Derrick Henry. I mean, he had more than his personal information. He had so much on him. But what would you say right now? Are you worried about maybe him getting like, does Baltimore maybe want to keep him fresh for the playoffs? They want to maybe have him take a little bit of a step back. Is that something that worries you at all?
Listen, I don't know. They just gave him a 2-year, $30 million deal, which is 15 per year. So they definitely see Derrick Henry as like a focal point of that offense. 15 million a year for, what's he, 30 years old, running back. That means to me that they're going to use him. They're going to run the fucking football. There was a reason he was, I believe, RB3 last year, if I'm not mistaken. I could definitely see that again. Baltimore wants to run the football, and Derrick Henry is the 1A, 1B, 1C best running back in football. Wherever you want to put him, he's just, and he's got to get that 2,000-yard rushing to get in the Adam Sandler movie. So he's got even another reason to just ball out. You didn't hear about that? Adam Sandler said something like, if you hit 2,000 yards or something, that you could be in the next Adam Sandler movie, and he was all about that. So,
all right, even more reason to cheer for the King. The only bad thing is he plays for Wiz's crappy team. For Wiz's crappy team there in Baltimore. But let me just say this, Wiz. Derrick Henry, we're talking to him right now. You know this team better than anybody. How worried are you about them maybe, resting them for the playoffs, taking it a little bit easy on them? We talked about it. Mike, is thinking he's going to still get a big workload. Do you think it's going to be early often, Derrick Henry, and do you think he's going to have a full plate?
We've talked about this a lot before, and even if Baltimore does that, right, which I think there's a good chance that they do, Keaton Mitchell is going to be healthy, a guy that was everyone's dynasty darling last year. Everyone was like, go buy for a late second. He's going to be good. I was like, that's dumb. He tore his ACL. He's a speedster guy. But I think he's going to be coming back this year. He's going to get more involved in that offense. Just Hill is still there for pass catching work. Rashid Ali, complete bust. That guy is not him. But yeah, they don't. I think they want to keep him fresh, and he's going to still get his touches, right? I think probably capping him around those 12 touches a game, especially on those bad teams that you don't need to rush them that many times. But we still have a tough schedule this year, right? I think we play Buffalo at some point, play Kansas City at some point, Bengals twice. You're gonna have to run up the score to keep it competitive. And then, I don't know. We have a good schedule, so he still can get his touches on those games. It's just the green light matchups that you're like, oh, you should pop off this game. And if it's against, a bad team, you probably won't see him out there as much.
Everyone, he's saying this because he's such a Debbie Downer when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens. Just take all this with a grain of salt. He wanted Harbaugh fired last year. He was so.
I didn't want Harbaugh fired.
Yes, you did.
I wanted Mark Andrews fired. That was the thing.
No, I'm pretty
he
sure
sent me
you
into
were
a
so
spiraling
done
depression.
In those Dynasty DNA Discord shows. You were so done with Harbaugh. You were cussing him up.
Well, listen. I have TJ
paint
yapping.
On your walls was peeling off because you were just spitting so much.
Listen, I have TJ in my ears constantly saying, Harbaugh's a lot like Mike Tomlin. He's good enough to get in the playoffs, and he'll win a playoff game, which is one thing Tomlin still can't do. This is TJ. Every time I hear him talk about Harbaugh, so eventually it starts fuck with your mind a little bit, Mike. Like how you were like, Bijan or Bowers, you almost went back and drafted Bowers, but then you said, "Fuck it, I'm staying. Trust my gut."
Yep, damn right. That's exactly what it is. TJ, am I wrong with that he was cursing up Harbaugh up and down?
He absolutely was, Mike, and I had nothing to do with it whatsoever. I don't know what.
All right, Mike. Listen, you can't talk about coaches whatsoever. All right, I think the city of Philadelphia calls for Sirianni's head at least a couple times a season just to keep it.
You can go back and listen to every single.
Maybe not you, but the city of Philadelphia.
That's all that matters is me. That's who we're talking about.
The city of Philadelphia. All right, Baltimore doesn't have that fire underneath the coaches. All right, we're happy with mediocrity, but I am not. All right, I'm firing that torch behind Harbaugh to keep him loose and heated.
I'm proud of you, Wiz. I'm proud of you. But let's go to the next running back here on the list. This one's interesting because I want to see how high you are in him. Like Derrick Henry's a little bit more obvious. I just want to see how high you guys are willing to go. But let's talk about Chuba Hubbard for a minute, right? Let's get Chuba Hubbard down here as a contender. How comfortable are you guys for Chuba right now? Where are you at? And is it going to be something to where you're really believing? Is it going to be something to where you think he's just going to be maybe more of a, short-term answer. I'm kind of curious to see. I got mine ready to go. Mike, I want to see what you have. I'm interested. I'm really interested to see what Wiz has. Has he got his paper done? Wiz, you got your paper done there?
Not yet. Hold on.
I figured. Yep. It's like me, I just do these things. It's like spontaneously. Like I'm just, I'm ready. Like it's in my mind. I'm like, you know what? Pull the trigger. F it. No regrets. Mike's got it right there. He's ready to go.
Yeah, this is the guy that we had a trade there. TJ sitting on you for like 2 months before I finally traded up Brees Hall to someone else.
You wanted my 27 first. You know how I feel about those. But anyhow, Chuba Hubbard. Here we go. Right now. Is everyone ready? Wiz, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1. All right, I got a high second. What does Wiz have? 26. What is that?
Late first. Or
hold him back.
Or I would give him Jug Kids.
Oh.
And a contending team. Speaking that, Spetch is probably gonna come down. So
okay, so you're saying late first or Junkins. Where were you at, Mike?
I had a second and a third, maybe 2 seconds.
Okay,
this is crazy, dude. You guys are over here spewing all this stuff about Chase Brown. Oh, I give a first and a second for Chase Brown.
I didn't say that shit.
Yeah, no, but this guy over here, and now you're underscoring Chuba.
Well, yeah, Wiz, I am, because let me tell you why, right? I mean, look, I like Chuba, but we have seen him get bit by the injury bug a little bit in the past, right? I mean, you don't remember it because you just want to think of the good times last year. Like the song Wiz is like, let the good times roll. That's all he thinks about. I mean, you got to remember, this player's been in the league a while. He's been banged up a little bit from time to time. I will say this. I know he got the contract. I think that's a little bit, you got to be careful with them things, right? I mean, look, Ramondre Stevenson got paid too, and everyone's like, oh, go get Ramondre Stevenson. Look what happened. You got to really watch when you're doing them type of things. And they also brought in a running back that I think's underrated that can play a little bit, Rico Dwaddle.
Trevor. Oh, I think I'm talking about Trevor Etienne.
No. I'm talking about Rico Dwaddle. I mean, they got him via free agency. And look, I'm not saying he's going to be great, but he's someone I think you could plug and play in that system and put up some points as well. So if you do have Chuba Hubbard, I've been saying that you might want to go out and get him just in case he does get injured. But he's someone that I just don't believe in long term. Like you guys want to talk about Chase Brown, you're kind of, give me a hard time about Chase Brown. Like, I think Chase Brown will be around longer than Chuba Hubbard is. I don't know if it'll be with Cincinnati, but I think he'll have more of a role longer term, and we'll see what happens. But Wiz, okay, you're riding high on the ship right now for Chuba Hubbard. Explain why you like him that much and what your feelings about his season in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, 2025 season, I mean, we saw what he did in a Carolina Panthers offense that was struggling for most of the year. Big reason why he didn't finish higher is they shut him down early towards the end of the season when they knew they were out and want to keep him fresh and healthy. I mean, that speaks volumes. Jonathan Brooks will be out all this year. They gave him a full year to recover, which is probably what they should have done last year, but they wanted to bring the rookie back. Rico Dwaddle, he had his chance in Dallas. He's just a complimentary back. He's just going to be a guy that's going to help take touches away a little bit from Chuba, which I think helps him, not hurt him, in the regard that he's going to stay fresh. He's going to be out there fresher and just look better. You also forgot Chuba's from Canada. And you know who else is from Canada? Wolverine. His blood is
also from Canada.
Yeah, he's the best Canadian by far. I mean, that's not even
Chase Mapletron. Chase Claypool's from Canada. So
you're really fucking this whole thing up with.
Yeah, I'm really fucked it up, Mike, when you threw Chase Brown there. I forgot about him, but no, I don't know. Like we saw what he could do, and a late first to me, I don't care. Whatever. Especially in 26 class that we're all projected to be horrible, which I'm hoping it's going to turn into the most slept on Dynasty class ever. I think that'd be hilarious for all these talking points. Like fantasy receipts would be popping off. They'd be like, dude, get rid of all your 26 first. And they'd be screenshot all that. It'd be great to see. But I don't know. I think Chuba's gonna be a good running back. I think he's gonna be a good option. I think he's a good buy right now because he's kind of just underappreciated a lot. And yeah.
I think he's a little bit underappreciated, but I also think too, like he's a little bit, like the people that are supporting him are a little bit too high. Like I don't think there's a happy medium there.
If you look at Chuba's contract too, there's a way out starting next year. So yeah. Is 3 or 4 year deals really not that great of a deal if you dig into the numbers on it a little bit? So I mean, I have a lot of Chuba laying around, and I think it's to be a season by season basis, a lot like Chase Brown, but you have to pay the fucking premium for Chase Brown. or for Chuba like you do for Chase Brown.
Okay, so Wiz a little bit higher than on Chuba there. Just so you know, Wiz, my Canadian running back's better than your Canadian running back. But we'll go over here now to Mike. Mike, what's your feelings on Chuba as far as long-term dynasty value here? You know, you were lowest, I think, out of all of us here. You know, I said maybe a high second. I think you said more of what, like a second and a third. It could just be maybe mid to later in the third. Is that what you said for Chuba?
Yeah, I had a second and a third. Maybe I could be talked into 2 seconds.
Right.
If I really, really needed it. I believe Chuba is just a very solid running back. Again, I have a little bit more faith in him this year than I do Chase Brown, and that might be a little bit of a hot take. But they paid him, right? They drafted a guy in the second round who unfortunately tore his ACL again this year. It might be curtains, you know, and his career might be kind of cooked at this point. It's unfortunate, obviously, for a young kid, but that's the reason why they gave Chuba Hubbard that money, right? They believe in him to be the one of the main backs of that offense. I think Rico Dwaddle's a nice addition to that running back room, but I don't see him as a better option than Chuba Hubbard. I think Chuba is a very solid RB2, even a flex option. I like Chuba. I think he's just a very cheap acquire for running back format.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. As far as like, yeah, I do think Chuba's definitely better than Rico. I mean, no doubt about it. But I'm just saying, like, if you have Chuba, I think that would be a very wise move. Like, and no one really is thinking of him right now, right? But like that could save your season if Chuba would go down. We've seen him get injured before, and God forbid if you have him and that happens, maybe you could just get him for a pair of socks. We talk about that quite a bit, but let's talk about another. Oh, okay.
I just wanted to bring up real quick.
Yeah, you want to talk more about Chuba? Go ahead.
Well, you said Chase Brown was better than Chuba Hubbard, but stats.
I didn't
rushed
say
for
that.
200. No, I was talking about TJ here. This is directed. Relax, Mike. I'm not always gunning at you. All right. Chuba had 200 more yards rushing than Chase Brown did last year, and he had 11 less receptions than Chase Brown last year. So you always talk about, you know, Chase Brown's a high end PPR guy. Chuba had 11 catches less, and he also played less games. But
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I think that Chase Brown really didn't get really involved until like week 7 or week 8 at a hot.
I don't care. I don't care. Stats don't lie. TJ, Chuba's better.
Oh, okay.
Does that fantasy points equate to? I think Chase.
I didn't look it up. I didn't look up touchdowns. It's just raw stats.
No, but like from 200 yards to 11 receptions, I think the 11 receptions would have it, right?
I think so.
All right, I'll go look it up. I'll go. You guys continue on. I'll chime in. See you. I'll figure it out.
I'm fucking terrible at math. So
Austin Thomas just hopped in. What's up, man? Happy to have you here on the live chat. He says Trevor Etienne could be RB2 in Carolina too. I mean, you never know. I mean, that spot's kind of still open. I mean, you have to wait and see. It's a shame what happened to Jonathan Brooks, man. That really kills my soul, even to this day. But let's go into the next player. Let's get back into the receivers. This one's going to be interesting because it is a guy that, in my opinion, still the main target on his team. I mean, he had a couple additions, but it's going to be, you know, he's kind of so hot or cold, kind of hit or miss, can be up or down. Cortland Sutton. I want to know right now, as a contender, if you were looking to add a Cortland Sutton, where would you be at? What would you be willing to pay? Wiz, get your handy-dandy trade notebook out. You have your little crayon there to write it on there. And this time when you hold it up, you know, I can't see it because you always hold it opposite. It's like it's different whenever you hold it up on my screen from where you're at. That's why
I'll try to do better. All
right, I appreciate it. You know, we missed really messing with you. Mike was back. You know, he's really full gear, but you have your paper ready for Cortland Sutton there, Wiz. I know it's killing.
Always last.
By the way, so Chase Brown finished higher, but Chuba was 0.2 per game higher averaging score last season.
I will tell you that Game of Thrones, Ned Stark told me everything before the word "but" is horse shit.
Yeah, and he also got his head cut off. So,
hey, Wiz, we'll have a little. We'll have a little bet about the Chase Brown Chuba thing. We'll have the Dynasty DNA kickoff show. Yeah, the Canadian running back battle, and we'll see who wins that battle. But all right, Wiz, you got your paper ready on Cortland Sutton. You're a lollygag. You're trying to buy time. You don't want to show it.
I just don't know what I want to pay for Sutton, to be honest with you.
Well, you got to figure it out. You're on the spot. Hey, you know what it is? It's a 2-minute drill. We got to go. Come on.
All right.
Right
fucked
now. I
up.
can hear.
Actually, Game of Thrones is on in the background. I can hear the fucking theme song playing as it. I was watching the Battle of the Bastards before I came on here. Getting me all hyped up again, all juiced.
You had to get Battle for Wiz. Okay, Cortland Sutton. What do we have?
What?
I have
got early second.
I have a mid-second. What do you have there, Wiz?
Oh,
207?
207.
All right.
You said 702. Is that a startup?
You held it upside down again. But 207, I said mid, so me and Wiz are really close. Mike, you're just a little bit higher. And you know what? I can appreciate that because we said kind of mid-second for Jacoby Myers too. And I think Cortland Sutton has a little bit more of a ceiling. You know, you talk about this Denver team. I know you low-key like this team a little bit. I know you love the Evan Ingram addition. Do you think that he's still going to see a lot of volume this year, Cortland Sutton? And what's your feelings as far as his finish?
I might actually push mine back down to a mid-second, to be honest.
No, it's
does 204 considered mid or early? I think that's still
early. I think mid to early.
Yeah, I would call right about there. 204 would be where, and I don't think you're going to get him for that. I think you're going to have to give up like the 2.2, 201. But the 2.4 to me feels about right. I am a little bit concerned about the additions of Evan Ingram as a pass catcher, the RJ Harvey as a pass catcher, year 3 Marvin Mims, shout out Muscles.
Pat Bryant,
the addition of Pat Bryant. But I think Pat Bryant is the heir apparent to Cortland Sutton, like the down the field, go up and get it, touchdown, red zone kind of guy. And I think that's why Cortland Sutton's still in for like a mid-late wide receiver 2 finish just because of touchdowns. I think they look for him in the red zone. I think they look for him deep. I think he's had a connection with Bo Nix, which, you know, guys like Ingram and Harvey don't have at this current time. So I think Sutton's still a nice piece to a contending offense. So 204, I feel all right about it.
Would you guys pay Brandon Ayuk straight up for Sutton?
If
you're in a contender.
No. Sutton.
I don't even think I could in contention. Like, I mean, it's just like he isn't like, I like Cortland Sutton, but his ceiling isn't high enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if the touchdowns aren't there, that's my biggest worry. Like, I think I'd rather gamble and flip Brandon Ayuk for a second. I mean, if I'm a contender, you can make the case, but I think at that point, I just hold on and see what I have. Because I just think that, like, with the 49ers, the age, I'll take that chance.
Well, Cortland Sutton finished as wide receiver 15 last year.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ayuk's finished as a wide receiver 1.
He has.
He's been close. He's been close. Okay. He's been around that range. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're very similar players, but you're resetting the clock with Ayuk. But I know where you're coming from, Wiz. I'm worried about him being the number 1 on that team as well. Like, I don't know how well that'll go coming fresh back off an injury. So I can't fault you for maybe trying to get creative and move a player like that for Cortland Sutton.
What about Jaden Reed? Because these guys are all right next to Sutton for ADP wise.
I would take Jaden Reed.
Oh man, I love Jaden Reed, but that Green Bay offense just gives me the ick right now with like the plethora of not pass catching wide receivers, the amount of wide receivers that they have that they want to get involved.
Well, they still have Dontavian Wicks.
Reed,
they still have Dontavian Wicks there too. So. Sucks.
So he's got hands for feet, you know, or feet for hands, whatever it is. I don't know. I like Jaden Reed, the football player. I think the Green Bay Packers don't use him correctly. Could that absolutely change this year? For sure. I think I'd rather just hold steady on Sutton for another year.
And the last 2, Trey Harris. That's a rookie. So
God, I love Trey though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is like
I think I would go Trey.
And this kind of goes back to it. I think Cortland Sutton's a little overvalued. Last one, Mike. This is gonna be a tough one for you. I think maybe Khalil Shakir or Sutton.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I think the floor is so much safer with a guy like Shakir, but the upside, because the touchdowns for Sutton is a little. I mean, obviously neither one of them have the highest upside, but the touchdowns I think are more for Cortland Sutton than they are for Shakir, because Josh Allen's going to vulture touchdowns. James Cook is going to vulture touchdowns, but he's going to get a lot of receptions, right? So I think because it's me, I might go Khalil Shakir, but I can't argue really either way.
Yeah, it's definitely close. And you can make an argument as far as team build goes. Bob's in the chat and he says Ayuk is dog biscuits.
Yeah. Big culture Bob.
I thought it was going to be dog water. That's usually Bob's saying when he really smears a player, but no, I love it. We got one more division due on the Dynasty DNA deep dive. Can't wait for that. That'll be the AFC East coming, but we got one more player, and that was an interesting debate. And I want to know, because this one here, to me, is very interesting, and I want to see how high you guys are willing to go. It's going to be Rashee Rice. We know.
Oh, man.
We just seen, you want to talk about something that is, kind of, could go either way in people's minds. How high are you? How low are you? What are you willing to spend? I'm kind of anxious to see, Wiz. I want to see what you're willing to give up for Rashee Rice right now. I'm going to write mine down. Okay. Yep. Wrote it down. Okay. Got her. Ready to go. And what do we have? Okay, you ready to go, Wiz? You ready to go, Mike?
I haven't written down yet. I'm trying to think about the pick wise.
You can't really,
I can't.
There's just no regrets, Wiz. You got to write it on the paper. No regrets. I love it. I love making you guys in a difficult spot. This one's going to be a tough one. I want to see how high you fellas are and who's the highest out of all of us.
All right. I think I don't feel good about it at all, but I still think you're going to have to, if you really want him, I think you're going to have to give it up for him.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's hold it up. All right, 105, Wiz. Is that what that is?
102 or 102. Travis Hunter and the 212.
Did you say 102?
Oh,
102. Yeah, in 20.
You're out of your fucking mind.
I'm at 105. I'm at 105 in 2026 for sure.
Because the thing is like you're not going to be able to get him.
I got
for
107, by the way.
107. Okay, got the 107.
I don't think it's possible to get him for if I saw mid 26 first, I would not give a fuck. You have to give an early 26 first if you want him, or 26 first.
So, Wiz, let's just talk about this a little bit, right? There's two quarterbacks at the top of the board in 2026 we kind of heard about. Yep. That people are talking about. This is like, so you're willing to sacrifice one of them at the 102 for Rashee Rice right now. Where is that? Where you're at?
Oh yeah, I would give up. I'll give up Travis Hunter too in the 2.2 or 2.12. I would give up Travis Hunter in a second, like 2.1 even. To be honest with you.
Interesting. So I mean, Travis Hunter is a player we talk about. That's a player that you and I ain't on. Mike's a little bit higher. We lost Mike, by the way. We're trying to get him back.
Mike's a little bit frozen on Rice, dude. He doesn't know what to do.
Look at his hat. I love that picture. But so you're willing to sacrifice one of them quarterbacks for sure. We just lost Mike. I think we're going to be getting him back. But so Travis Hunter, explain that. So you're saying like the ceiling, like the people are projecting for Travis Hunter, and I love this because I'm not high on this player either. The ceiling that people are projecting for Travis Hunter, you're not super in love with. You're okay with taking the floor with Rashee Rice.
The floor of Rashee Rice. I mean, we saw what Rashee Rice was doing in the beginning of the season. I mean, he was like what? He was like RB4 or something, or wide receiver 4 before he got hurt.
Yep.
So if that's the 4 you're talking about, TJ, yeah. I mean, Travis Hunter, I think best case, right, is he's going to finish outside wide receiver 2. I think he's going to be one of those guys that fall in that Chris Olave tier that everyone has high hopes and expectations for and just is not able to hit it. And his floor is all the way down at wide receiver 7 or 8. And I'm good. I'm not investing. I'm not taking that risk. I'm not taking the gamble for a Chris Olave that you could just buy later on, way down in the future.
Let me just do this, Wiz. I will give you a round of applause for that one because I love the creativity and I love shipping off a player that a lot of people are liking that I'm not super high on for a player I do like in Rashee Rice. I think that makes a lot more sense. Giving up the 102 is very tough, but I see where you're coming from. I think, but you got to remember though that, his suspension just happened. I mean, you could take advantage of this if you really want him right now, right? But Mike, okay, you said 107. You and I weren't super far off on this. I mean, you were 2 picks later than I was. What's your feelings on Rashee Rice as a dynasty asset right now, coming back in now with what we know? His sentence was handed down. We know what it is. We're waiting to hear what the NFL has for an official suspension. Where are you at on him as far as like, are you buying? Are you selling? Are you holding? Are you drafting him more in startups? Like, what's your thought?
If I have him, I'm holding. right? If I don't have him, I'm not actively trying to acquire him because I still think like the 107 is 105 to 107 is probably the correct price range. But I like some of the players in that range currently. Like 102, like my internet went out when he said 102 because I just can't. Like that is unfathomable. Unfathomable? However the fuck you say that word, it still makes more sense the way I said it than what he said with 102 for Rashee Rice. I can't do that, to be honest with you. I think Rashee Rice is, especially in that offense, the way they use him is still, a top wide receiver option. We do have to worry about what happens next this year when it comes to suspension. I've seen 4 games. I've seen 6 games. I don't know if you guys already said that. I apologize. I got booted off for a second there. Move Judkins for Rice. Bob says
you need to add a lot more.
That is
to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, that my brain is in a fucking conundrum trying to figure out both those situations. Listen. I don't. 107 is where I'd feel comfortable.
That's not going to get it done.
If I'm going to be doing that right now, I know it's not, but I'm not going to 102. Like if you had,
you said you have Rice share. So what would you take for Rice to get him off your hands? You would take the 107.
No, probably not. That's why I said like probably.
You would take the 105 for him. Would you take Travis Hunter straight up for him? Because I know you're a big Travis guy.
Win now.
Yeah, you're winning right.
Well, I like the thing is
this
is
is
like,
not IDP
I
either.
doubt he gets suspended the whole. Shit.
Like for this being,
I really want to say Travis Hunter. Listen, I really want to say Travis Hunter over Rashee Rice, but I can't right now, especially in a win now situation. I don't see that. If I'm just going off Travis Hunter, the wide receiver prospect coming out of college, he's far beyond what Rashee Rice was coming out of college to me. But Rashee Rice is in the NFL now. He's on a system that works for him. He's already shown it. I can't say for sure that I wouldn't. Oh, man, fuck. It's real. This one really is
I just like. All right. Well, we'll make it easier. We'll make it easier, right? Rice has an 8-game suspension. He won't be back till week 8.
Trying to win now. Obviously, we go to week 17, right? I'm probably going to keep Rice. 0 chance I take 107 for Rice. Yeah, listen, I agree, but that's kind of
like
where
I'm at the point. I'm at the point I would move McMillan for him. I would tear off T. Higgins for him. Like if I get like a second on there, AJ
Cam
Brown,
Ward. Well,
Cam Ward. Yeah, I would move Cam Ward for Rice. I'd do 1-for-1 for that one.
In Superflex, I don't know.
Yeah, in a Superflex league, I do 1-for-1, especially if I had QB depth, right? If Cam Ward's my QB2 or a QB3, I probably would not do it. But I would tear off AJ Brown as well for Rice. Like if I get like a 27-second for it on the on the Rice side, I would do that. I don't know. I'm just looking at the value chart, and I just don't know why Rice. For one, I never understood why he never took a real dip when his ACL happened, and then that whole entire Dallas scene happened. His value never really dipped too low because everyone was like, he's not gonna get suspended. So whoever was telling you that was wrong. That was dumb. He's gonna get 100% get suspended. That's why I said. I was like, I'll just buy the dip during the suspension time when everyone realizes he's gonna get suspended. I'm not worried about it. I would give Devonta Smith straight up too. I think Rice is probably worth a little bit more than Smith is, but that's just kind of like I have a lot of high hopes for Rice.
Wiz, like, and I like what you were saying there, but like you could get creative too. Would you give up like, you're talking about a mid first, like that wouldn't be enough to give it done. Would you trade like an Olave and a 107 to get Rashee Rice?
Oh yeah,
that's what I mean. Like you could use other pieces too.
I would trade Ken Walker in the 1-7.
Oh, I love that. I love that one, Wiz. You keep talking like that.
I would trade. I would trade Xavier Worthy and probably. I think Xavier Worthy's value is a little bit higher right now. Probably like 1-9 and Xavier Worthy for Rice. I would do Jameson Williams 1-9 for, or even the 1-7 to be honest for Rice.
Yeah, I love that. I love it so much. Bob says he never seen me being so quiet because I've been letting Wiz spit right now. Bob, I love Rashee Rice. You know that. Wiz has come to my defense on this one. He's really, and Mike likes him too. I think that's why Mike's so conflicted, right? I think he's just sitting there thinking like, I really want to join these guys on this, but I really don't want to show that I'm
especially with Travis Hunter. Like I would pay more. Like for some reason, Travis Hunter's ahead of Rice on KTC. I was looking it up to see where Rice is actually falling right now, which is insane to me that people would rather have Travis Hunter over Rice by a decent amount of value.
Oh, yeah. And that's just like this class. I'd move like a Golden in a first. I'd move a Burden in a first to get Rashee Rice all day long if I could do that. Just good information to know and good things to shoot out there. But all right, let's talk about the triple threat question of the week, Wiz. While we're waiting for Mike to get back on here, we lost him again. I'm sure he's really pissed at Comcast tonight. I'm sure he's not in a good mood.
He's probably just real heated that about my Travis Hunter and that his Wi-Fi just cut out for him. They're like, you need to calm down. Like his rage meter went up too high.
I love it. But we got the triple threat question of the week as we get Mike back in here.
Oh, here he is.
There he is.
On the cell phone because I don't know what's happening. I've given up all hope on Comcast ever working out for me at this point in my life.
Hey Mike, you had a question in the chat. Would you rather have Amari and Hampton or Rashee Rice? I already know the answer to this one.
Let me guess. Was that by Chev 90?
That's a good guess.
Yeah,
that's correct.
It's 100%. Give me Amari and Hampton. He's going to light me up on social media, but it is what it is. I'll take it Amari and Hampton.
Make sure you clip that.
Hey, Chev, don't worry. We got your back with the Rashee Rice fan club on that one. But Bob also said Alaska internet is greater than Philly.
It is.
Even TJ's uncle's dial-up. TJ's uncle's dial-up internet's doing better than your fucking internet right now, Mike.
I love it.
For 55 minutes, we were good until he said the 102 comment. It's just like it just couldn't handle it. I physically couldn't handle it, and my Wi-Fi couldn't handle it.
As I said, your rage meter went up too high. Your internet's like, we got to calm him down.
No, that made it fucking worse.
Mike broke it. But all right, Wiz, here we go. Let's talk about the triple threat question of the week. Who do we have this week? Who's it brought to us by? And what are we talking about?
Yeah, so this is going to be coming from our good friend Teixeira. He said, who do you believe has the most underappreciated player / unsung hero to you in Dynasty in recent memory? Any player you expect to take that mantle this season by year's end? So this is more of a personal. Do you guys have any stories that a player out of nowhere came up and won you a league?
I trying to think on the top of my head because, I have my players list, right? We talk about it. Guys that just, I love that I've gone to bat for. I can tell you one right now, right off the bat. Jordan Love, right? We talk about Jordan Love with the Green Bay Packers. As Mike's cell phone now, it looks like it might be giving him trouble. He looks like he's frozen on his cell phone.
We're good.
Okay. But Jordan Love, I preached about him all the first year when we started Dynasty DNA that he was a great buy to go out and get him. I practice what I preach on the show. You can ask Mike and Wiz. I go out and I do these things in these leagues. And sometimes, like I said, when I even make a mistake like I did with Kenneth Walker, I say it was stupid. Like, why the hell would we even do that? That was dumb. So I tell everyone else not to do it. But Jordan Love, come through for me. Stashed him on my taxi squad, drafted him super late in a super flex rookie draft, his rookie year, had him, waited, was patient. It was nice to see him come through. And, honestly, like, them are my type of guys. Like, right, we talk about, like, these lower end, mid-range quarterback twos. Like, they are my unsung heroes. I draft a lot of them. Your Jared Goffs, your Jordan Loves, them type players, the Justin Herberts. They win me leagues. They've done it a lot. They hold the boat steady while my rest of my skill players do the work. And that's the kind of guys I like. That's the guys I want to mention. As far as this year goes, I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to look right now and just see maybe something that pops in my head. But, Mike, Jordan Love and some of these quarterback twos are my type of guys. Do you have anybody like that?
I mean, I guess probably the most recent unsung hero is rookie season was Puka Nacua, right? Because nobody saw Puka Nacua coming and doing what he did his rookie season, right? And then another one, like we're thinking way back, and I'm talking like from a redraft standpoint, was David Johnson's rookie season when he came out guns a-blazing at the end of the year, won me a league. got him off the waiver wire. He won me that league and won me that season. I think it might have been my first ever championship, if I'm not mistaken, back 10 years ago now at this point. So that's another one. And who could do that this year? Shit.
Just say it,
That's a
Mike.
real
Just
tough one.
say it. I feel like you want to
What?
say his name so bad, Amari and Hampton. I feel like you want to say it. You're
No,
just
but
drawing
that's not
parallels
really
to
like
David Johnson rookie season. He's going to come back and surge, win 81 championships.
no, but like Omarion Hampton was a first round running back. So it's like if he does that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Trying to think. All the dirt that everybody's been throwing on Caleb Williams lately, especially in the DNA Discord. He might be an unsung hero, but Wiz, who do you have while I think this one over?
Yeah, so one of my biggest unsung heroes last year was Baker Mayfield. This guy on all my championship teams, I think besides a couple, he was my quarterback too because he was so dirt cheap throughout the years. I was looking at trades I got. Like I traded Tank Dell before the season and 25 first and second for Jonathan Taylor at Baker Mayfield, and I got a third back. So that turned out really well for me. Worked out. So in a bunch of those leagues, I had Baker Mayfield. I actually shipped him off one of my leagues for Derrick Henry straight up in a Superflex league, which is it's a 10-man. So let's calm down before we get all crazy with it. But I'm trying to think who else. Oh, I mean, you got to include the man, the myth, old steady Eddie, Adam Thielen. That guy won me a few. He's my championship starting weeks. And just a guy like that. I'm trying to go back. I know the first player that he holds a little place in my heart. He won me my first ever fantasy championship was Michael Vick with the Eagles. I forget what year it was. But he won me weeks every week. It was crazy. But a guy that I think could do it this year. I mean, kind of looking at. I know a lot of my stories are quarterbacks based, but just a guy that everyone kind of counts out, right? I think could be CJ Stroud. I think he's going to have a good resurgence. I like your pick about Caleb Williams. I would have said it, but Cher's in here, Bob's in here. I don't want anyone to fucking gun at me saying culture, but I guess Houston, Texas culture is pretty bad too. But I don't know. I think CJ Stroud's going to have a real good year this year. I think they're going to move around that offense to get the ball out quicker. We saw him use his legs a lot more this past season than what we've seen in college his rookie year. And he's just kind of guy that no one wants right now. He has like the ick to him because he had a bad sophomore slump. So
I just thought of one. A guy that's kind of going in the range of Jordan Love is Kyler Murray. I don't think he gets enough respect. It's just a guy, is going to finish in the top 12. We're projecting an uptick for Marvin Harrison Jr. We're projecting McBride to continue his success. So that should just mean that Kyler Murray's also seeing another solid season. We're a healthy year of Kyler Murray last year. We had a half a full healthy season for him in the year before because he came in middle of the season and played full health. So I'm back in on Kyler Murray, and it's kind of surprising because I was out on him 2 years ago, and he showed a little something.
Yeah, I like that call out, Mike. I really do. I like all the call outs you guys gave. Let me just say this one for you, Mike, and for you, Wiz, because I think we were all on this train together. Elijah Arroyo, we just seen Noah Fant get released from the Seattle Seahawks. We've been preaching that bandwagon all off season long where they go get this guy. We really like him. And, the fact that they let this guy go, I mean, look, I know there's contract situations, there's cap casualties, right? But, I mean, they're really giving him a chance to get on the field and really do something this year. I really believe that. It's leading towards that. If you don't have this guy, if you could still get him late in starters for something, I'd get him. I think we talk about these lower-end athletic tight ends that could possibly get up to a tight end one. He's got that athletic profile. Absolutely, he could do that someday in his career. So I'd love to bring his name up too.
Yeah, also, I guess a deep dart throws, a guy that we all been kind of preaching a little bit is Jalen Wright. I got him in the Scott Fishbowl pretty late in the 15th round. I think that's a really solid value you're getting for another rookie tight end that I like a lot. is Mason Taylor from the Jets there. We know Justin Fields likes to target the tight end a lot, right? Cole Kmet had some of his best seasons with Justin Fields there. And then outside Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard's a good complementary piece. Brees Hall's back there. But I think that tight end's going to be a focal point in the offense, especially if they run it like Detroit's. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a nice Sam Laporta-esque season. I wouldn't say as high of a ceiling, but definitely a good season for sure for Mason Taylor.
Okay, I love it. I love these calls. That was a lot of fun. Mike, you have one more you want to shout out before we sign off?
Marshawn Lloyd can be another one. That's a guy I've been preaching up. Could kind of, to me, he could have like a Tank Bigsby-esque season from last year where he finished as like a RB3. I think you could get a little bit more out of him because of the big play ability and the pass catching ability. Josh Jacobs is obviously the RB1 there, but if he misses any time, if he has a couple nice plays, he could get more of a workload that Emmanuel Wilson had last year. So I would see Marshawn Lloyd as a nice sneaky bet too.
Yeah, and we also see Josh Jacobs has those years. He's kind of a lot like Dak Prescott, Matt Ryan, where he has a really good year, and then the next year he gets hurt or he just doesn't perform as well. So I think that's a really good call out, Mike. We're not gonna crucify you for your Marshawn Lloyd love for sure.
Now, that's a great episode, guys. I had a lot of fun with this one. I love playing these type of games, kind of see where everyone's head's at as far as values of players. But, this has been a great time. We're getting closer to the NFL season. We're bringing you these 2 to 3 shows a week, minimum here on the Dynasty DNA Podcasting Network. We're going to continue to bring them to you. Honestly, we're going to be doing the Dynasty DNA live kickoff show in August before the season where we're all going to be on giving a lot of predictions. Everybody from all the shows, cross promotion. It's going to be fun. We're going to be going live for that as well. So I'm anxious to pick everyone's brain. So everyone stay tuned for that. Also have another show coming that is going to be exciting that I think a lot of people are going to like. It's going to be funny. I'm anxious to get that one started and get it out there with a couple new faces. Some people that these guys know very well. I think that will be good additions to the Dynasty DNA family. But guys, if you are listening and enjoying the content, and please follow on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher, Amazon, any of the big podcasting platforms if you haven't yet. It really helps, and we greatly appreciate it. If you could follow and drop a 5-star, tell a friend, subscribe to Dynasty DNA on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Dynasty DNA_. And I always say it, make sure to go over and follow Mike's podcast, The Dynasty Dogs, as well. And you won't be sorry. It's a good, funny show with him and Rich, and they do a tremendous job. And they have a lot of good guests on there as well. They're available on Apple Pod and Spotify and YouTube and all kinds of other places. Make sure to check that out. But this is a great episode at the DNA Network when I say, hope you guys have a great week ahead of you. And we will see you all on the next episode of the Triple Threat Podcast.